Abu 7, we got this memo that's been unearthed showing the Trump administration is preparing to mobilize National Guard troops across the country and have them ready by April of 2026. This is raising a lot of eyebrows. People are saying, what are they expecting? They say this is to stop potential uprisings like the No Kings protest, which wasn't nothing like BLM, and it seemed like most of those people were packed up and out of there by dark. The ICE protest really catching a lot of the action here, and they're focused on that as well. But they won this lawsuit because at first they said that they couldn't send troops up into Portland, but now the Ninth Circuit allowing President Trump to deploy Oregon National Guard troops to Portland, and they said that he lawfully exercised his authority.
Hey, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Rataza Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechachodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings to the hopeful and sincere elect. It's a quick one. Just seen this video from Darbull 777 channel in regards to Esau, King Trump over there in America, aka Nero, in the reincarnation coming back as King Trump, pushing these dystopian austerity measures to the 10th power, man, and reinforcing his Gestapo, his private police force, that is the National Guard that are going to be pushed throughout the four ends of the earth, which represents the ends of America, the ends of the earth. But throughout the 50 states, up until from April 2026, but he's doing it right now as we speak. So it's only going to get worse. But then enforcing the National Guard, his own private police squad, basically, to be in all these different 50 states, man, on a regular basis. If there's some sort of type of revolt or riot or any form of rebellion, the militarized police, the National Guard, are going to be basically there to service, put things back into order within 24 hours or so to speak, as a normal police job, so to speak, as a separate from the actual, police units that they have. He's going to have this National Guard sent forth, man, which is, as I said, he's a private Gestapo, which Gestapo is a German word. It's supposed to be a German acronym, which means private police state or private police force. When you look it up, it's the actual German acronym, So he's just following the traits of basically ancient, the Germans, going back to the NZs. The NZs, I should know what I'm talking about when I talk about the NZs in Germany. And your guy Hitler, man, he's basically presenting himself as the new Hitler. The cruel Lord that's prophesied in Isaiah the 90th chapter, and he's that devil that's going to implement this draconian new world order, governed by the elites, and ultimately he's going to be the one to push the MOT to the B, which is the mark of the beast system, the RFID hip technology, then ultimately then after that World War III. Abaratazar, man, soon after that. So he's definitely the last Trump, the last American president. He even said that in his own mouth, out of his own mouth, so to speak, during his second election and all that he was going to be the last American president, and he's definitely the last Trump, the last trumpet that's going to be blown and prophesied in Revelations. This 9th chapter, the 16th chapter talks about the 7th trumpet, and that the destruction is going to be here on earth, mainly America, Babylon the Great, by the 7th trumpet, and that's the elect have to be delivered basically between the end of the 6th and the beginning of the 7th, man, which we're coming into right now as we speak. Prophecy is being fulfilled, man. So all I can say is watch this space. But it's a beautiful time to be alive, man. And King Trump, aka Nero 47, is doing a perfect job, and he's only doing what he did in his past life. As I just came across some information on the Britannica.com website, which I'm going to read. in regards to Nero and his endings. Basically, I'm just gonna read a quick excerpt. And his last years basically as a tyrant ruler in ancient Rome, man, and how he got basically exiled, abdicated from the throne or his leadership role because he was just causing too much chaos, man. And even the patricians, the Senate, and all that back then, they wanted him out of there because in the patrician guard, which was basically his own private national guard police squad back then, the patrician guard, they even denounced him, man. You know, everyone denounced this guy because he was just causing too much chaos and rebellion and revolts in the time of his rule during his tenure, you know. And he's doing the same shit all over again, man. So you know there's nothing new under the sun, and reincarnation is in the scriptures, man. And this guy is definitely the man, the cruel Lord, man. You know, the churl will speak wicked evil. You know, as it says in Isaiah 32. I'm not wording it correctly right now, but you know, if you go into the word churl, it talks about the um the churl and the evil intents of the villain, and the villainly shall speak villainly. The villain shall speak villainly. He's talking about this guy here, because he's the king of Babylon the Great right now, the king of America, aka Trump, aka Nero 47. So I'm just gonna go to that video, or no, that website basically to show you, you know, the Britannica website.com, the biology of Nero, the Roman Emperor, the approaching end of Nero. And if you go down, I'll just read a quick excerpt. I'm not going to go read the whole thing, but I'll leave the link in the description box for brothers if you want to read up on it. But this guy was causing so much mayhem, man. His own, you know, his own Senate and all that denounced him, man. And they wanted him out of there, man. You know, and that's why he basically is so-called in the history, is so-called stabbed himself in the throat. You know, he basically committed suicide. You know, that's the report that was written down by Tacticus. It says it here. It says Nero was obliged to flee to the city, flee the city according to the Suetonius. That's a mad one. He said he stabbed himself in the throat with a dagger according to the account version recounted by Tacticus. It says an almost certain fiction. You know, he reached the Greek islands where he was followed, where the following 69, and that we're going into the year of the four emperors, the 69, you know, which ended up with Vespasian, head of the Flavian dynasty. He was the last of the four, the four emperors to rule during that 69 period. It says the governor of Cynthius, modern Kithnos, recognized him as the guys with the red-haired prophet and leader of the poor. It says it had him arrested and executed the sentence and had been passed by the Senate. So this guy was, you know, he was a tyrant, man. He was a you know, a piece of work back then, and he's doing the same shit right now. He's destabilizing the whole American economy right before people's eyes and playing possum at the same time. I like to say he's an exceptional ruler. And these people are so fucking engulfed by his character, his you know, personality and character, that they don't even realize that this guy's destroying their whole economy right before their eyes, man. And he's gonna come down upon you with great wrath, because he knows that he have but a short time. He's the devil, man. He's the seed of the devil, being these Edomites, these so-called white people, man, that are basically against the Israelites, you Jakes out here. It says the Roman populace and the patrician guard later came to regret that they had lost such a liberal patron. It said the liberal shall no more speak, be more liberal. The Isaiah 32. I'm going to read it anyway. But I think the liberal was talking about in that chapter was talking about Jakes, because you know, but Esau's not liberal at all, man. He's the devil. It says, but to his subjects in general, Nero had been a tyrant. It says, and the revolts his misrule sparked a series of civil wars for that time period. It says that threatened the survival of the Roman Empire and caused widespread misery. So this guy was a tyrant. This guy was a herald of Satan back then, man. He was basically not supposed to be in that leadership role, man. But he got in there, you know, by favoritism and all that popularity contest, Like a guy Trump's a fucking celebrity, man. He's a businessman. He's not no damn politician. Damn sure ain't supposed to be no damn president. But it's the spirit that's in him, man. He's the spirit of Satan in him, and this is the spirit that he had from back then. He was he was head of the Senate back then. He was became Caesar Nero back then. So he's come back in his role today as a president of the United States of America, man, which is Rome all over again, modern day Rome reincarnated, man. So this guy, Trump's gonna do he's doing a perfect job, and he's definitely gonna lead America to its demise, man. That the straight up addition, prophesied in Revelations the 17th chapter. So even down here, it's got a list of Roman emperors and chronological order. Slovakia, tongue twister there. And you see from the first century, he's got all the main Caesars. Should start from Julius, because he was the first of the Roman Caesars, all the way down to Nero, which you see there, 54 AD to 68 AD, And then, all these guys here got the year of the four emperors, Galba, Otho, Vitellius, and then Vespasian was the end of the year of the four, and then him and his sons took over the Flavian dynasty, and then after that you had Nerva, which is even according to Apostle Sahar in history, Nerva would have been a Jake, the first Jake emperor, basically to rule in the Roman Empire, man, the pagan Roman Empire before it turned to the Holy Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, if you will. But from the 2nd century AD, CE meaning Christian era, or secular era, Christian era. It says Trajan, all the way down, 3rd century, all the way down. All these are Jakes, man. All these are Jakes that ruled, man, after Nerva. All these are Jakes, bruv. Constantine, all of them. All of these are Jakes that ruled after the fall of the pagan Roman Empire. So Jake was taken over, man, throughout Europe, the southern kingdom. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, we took over, and even past 491 AD, because we ruled for a 1,000-year period up until the mid 1300s, man. Just before during the bubonic and bubonic plague, that's when Jake basically started to fall out. During the mid 1300s. So all that time in history, Esau likes to paint these different Caesars after Nerva as being Edomites. These were all Jakes. All these guys was all Jakes, man. Look at that, man. The list of all Jakes that was ruling. Just after the 1st century AD, Anno Domini, which means the year of our Lord. So this is beautiful, man. This is true history right here. And your guy Nero, he was a hellraiser, basically. He was a hellraiser, man. Not to go off topic anyway, because this is about the king of Babylon anyway. This guy led a revolt against Boudica. You had that movie Boudica that came out recently last year. About the revolts between the nomad tribes and all that in Great Britain against Rome, and he was the guy that basically took Boudica out. He led the revolt basically to take Boudica out, and he said he had many antagonists at that time. So the great conspiracy to make Gaius Pius sole emperor in 65 reveals the diversity of his enemies, senators, knights, officers, and philosophers, man. This guy was a hellraiser, man. He led many revolts, man. Many rebellions, many riots broke out because of this guy, Nero, man. So that's just a quick history on this guy here, man. Because this is the same guy coming back, Nero 47, aka Trump, man. The cruel lord, man. And he's gonna show you how cruel he is for you tribes out here, man. 12 tribes. They're doing it already. He's already seen the news reports of the Gestapo, the private police squad, National Guard out there in New York, in Chinatown, arresting Jakes and all that, man. They ain't just out there arresting anyone. They're looking for specifically for you brown and black people, so-called blacks and Hispanics, man. They're not even looking for the Chinese in Chinatown, Moabites, so to speak. They're looking for you tribes, man. And they don't care if you're a citizen or a non-citizen. They want to grip your ass up and detain you. Because it's all practice for this time of Jacob's trouble, man. Because that's who they're coming for in these last days. Trump's dedicated to taking down you tribes. Because he's the cruel Lord that's gonna be on you during the time of Jacob's trouble. Revelations 12:12. The devil shall come down upon you with great wrath, because you know that he has but a short time. Whereas you niggas and you spicks, man, you wetbacks still wanted to put this damn devil in office. Especially you Spaniards, man, you know, Hispanic tribes, you wanted to put this guy in office, man, so badly, and now he's gonna show you how much he loves you by bringing the hell raising upon your asses, man, which you deserve. 2/3, man. Joke thing, but anyway, we go straight to the scriptures. Jeremiah 30:5. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, afar and fear, of fear and not of peace. Because we're in a time of great fear, man. And this ain't a time of peace, man. It's a time of war, time of great death, dearth upon the earth, famine in the land, and the rage and the destruction and the vehement anger of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua upon the wicked, man. That's the time we're in. So there's a time of definitely trembling of fear and not of peace. It says, ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail? Yeah, so men are going to be in their pains, man. Men are going to be shitting themselves in these last days. It says, in travail, and says, and all faces are turned into paleness. Especially when Esau, it starts to enforce the mandating of the sea hit. That's when he's really going to, push the bar and no holds bar, so to speak. And they're going to be as madmen sparing none. Him and his private police squad, the Gestapo and all that, man. They're going to be on you tribes, man. They're going to be on you like white on rice, man. They ain't going to they ain't even let you have a break. They're going to be on you so bad. Right now, they're just being, this war, the time of Jacob's trouble is started, but it's simmering. It's not reached boiling point yet. It's going to reach boiling point very soon. Right now, it's simmering, man. It's just starting to get heated, but it's only going to get worse, man, before it gets worse. It says, alas, for that day is great, so it is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Yeah, only the elect, because they're the ones that's only, praying to the Lord and crying for the Lord to deliver us in these last days from the enemy, man, which is these so-called white people, man, from King Trump and them, these Edomites. The rest of the 2/3, they want this, they're going to run to this devil for aid, for help. They're going to run to him like, Esau's cutting off the EBT, snapping all that. And the benefits for these women, they're losing their teats. No more teats for you women out here, man. No more milk, man. No more government checks and all of that, unless you take the biometric, basically, underneath the skin. That's how Esau's going to push it. So there's going to be hell upon you tribes, man. And Esau's going to come down with that hammer upon you tribes, man, like never before. Because he is the devil, man, and he hates you tribes, man. But that perpetual hatred between Jacob and Esau, he's gonna show you, man, how much he hates you, man. Because this the wicked elite that's reinforcing this, and they're just using him as a shield, as a front man to push their new world order agenda. So it's only gonna get dark out here, man. Daniel's 12:1, the time of the end. So we're at the very end of this society, man, and there's proofs in the pudding. You can see the signs in the midst of us, man. Every day something's manifesting regarding prophecies, signs in the heavens and all the chariot signs, the Lord, the angels showing themselves, getting ready to take over this earth, this realm, and Esau losing his marbles, man. Perverse leaders in society just doing madness, and it's just it's becoming diabolical out here to the point of no return. So all that's left is the nuclear destruction, basically, man. Because there's no more righteousness in this city or in this side of the town, so to speak. Only the elect, the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, are the only ones that's reinforcing righteousness pushing these scriptures, man, pushing the truth. Everyone else outside of that is just basically gone, man, revolted and gone regarding the 2/3. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, standeth for the elect. It says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Yes, so there's going to be so much hell unleashed on the earth that the angels are going to have to come and defend the men of the Lord, man. They're going to have to show themselves, man, because it's going to get that dark out here, man. That destitute, that savage. People are going to go back to that savage way, man, of living, man. Like to say they was living in the fucking Stone Age, if that even existed. But the people are going to be acting savage like never before, And really the Stone Age is talking about these devils when it was up in the caves, man. These so-called whites, the Edomites when they was living up in the caves. That's the Stone Age, if you want to talk about Stone Age. Savagery and all that. That's Esau's spirit. But the people are going to be acting like that because they're going to have, there's going to be great tribulation, a lack of bread, a lack of resources. You already see the videos of these black women talking about they're going to be crashing out. Jake going to be crashing out. So Jake's going to be acting savage, man. It's going to become so lawless. But this is what the elite want. They want Jake to act stupid so they can come in and so-called restore the order with their Gestapo and their New World Order. So it's all this is playing into prophecy anyway. The destruction of this wicked ass empire, man, and the 2/3. It says, and at that time thy people shall be delivered. Yeah, the elect. Only the elect are going to be delivered, the remnant that will return unto the Lord through repentance, man. The 2/3, they ain't going to repent. It says, either every one of them, every one that shall be found written in the book, which is only the elect, a small number compared to the nation of Israel, which is as the sand of the sea. It's a small sanctuary that's only going to return. But this is the punishment of the Lord, because you had the prophets out there on the highways and hedges warning you week in and week out for how many years now on the World Wide Web, using the feed horn, the unicorn, and Jake, still oblivious and still mocking and disregarding his truth. You got Jake sort of dedicated on the TikTok videos, just talking shit, scorning and scoffing, man, against this truth. So they deserve death, because you had the men of the Lord out there, the true men of the Lord, starting from the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, prophesying unto you, trying to tell you to get right. But Jake want to disregard the truth. They found their hand at it, man. So when all hell breaks loose, that's their asses, man. We ain't gonna lift up a cry nor prayer for them, like it tells in the book of Jeremiah, 7 and verse chapter 11. I'm gonna read Jeremiah 18. It says, Jeremiah 18 and 20, shall evil be recompensed for good? It says, for they have digged a pit for my soul. Yeah, the wicked ass Jakes back then, like if they were and if they were around, and they're around right now, because it's the same spirit, same wicked generation that was back then against the prophets. They're here now. They would want to put us in the hole all over again, man, if they had their opportunity. All them evil ass Jakes, them wicked ass Jakes on TikTok making videos about the Hebrew Israelites and why you shouldn't follow the Hebrew Israelites. If they had their way, they would put us in compromised situations where brothers would lose their life or be put in jail, man. If they had their way, because that's how wicked Jake is. Shall evil be recompensed for good, for they have digged the pit for my soul. Remember, I stood before thee to speak good for them and to turn away thy wrath from them. Yeah, we do the same thing. We used to speak for these Jakes, man, because all we're doing is prophesying salvation for our people, and Jake don't want to accept it, man. 2/3 don't want to accept it because they love the white man so much, man. If the white man can't go, they don't want to go, basically. They join hand in hand with the wicked. So the Lord, they're going to be delivered up to the desolation and destruction, man. 2/3 are not going to make it, man, because they got that slave mentality, that Stockholm syndrome. It says, therefore, deliver up their children to the famine. So these are curses that the prophet Jeremiah put upon, Judah at that time, the southern kingdom. And this goes for all the 12 tribes, man. This is the same, mindset that Jeremiah had, we got today, upon the 2/3. Therefore, deliver up their children to the famine. So a lot of Jakes are going to be starving out here to death, especially you black women, man. You big Shirleys out here. You going to be fucking looking like a damn pancake by the time the Lord's done with your asses, man. You big Shirleys, man. You going to be skinnier than ever. and dying at the same time. It says, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. It says, and let their wives be bereaved of their children. So those little gremlins you call children, those little, gargoyles are going to be put to death. It says, and be widows. And it says, and let their men be put to death. Your husbands are going to die, especially in the war, time of Jacob's trouble, martial law, civil war, and all of that. A lot of men are definitely going to die in that process. A lot of husbands, going to create a lot of widows out here. That's why Isaiah 4:1 is going to come into play. 7 women shall take hold of one man. It says, let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. Yeah, so a lot of men are going to be killed. You YN niggas as well, man. You YNs talking about you got switches and all that. You going to get casted over there into the Third World War to battle over there in the Battle of Armageddon. The mountain of the troops. In the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh in the Hebrew, the place of the Most High's judgment. And you're going to die over there, man. You ain't going to make it back to the shores of America, man. Or anywhere in Europe that you'll be coming from to go over there to fight on the Middle East. You're going to die. Slain shall be die in battle. So, I said there's young men be slain by the sword in battle. So like there's Isaiah 19:4, 19:3. No, 19:4. It's like and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord. And the modern day Egyptians is talking about who? You American citizens, man. Whether you're foreign or domestic, you are the modern day Egyptian slaves, man. And you're going to be given into the hand of a cruel lord. This guy right here, Nero on the right hand side, man, aka Trump. He is that cruel lord, man. And these private police Gestapo over on the left hand side, the National Guard, are going to be there to reinforce that draconian legislation, man. Austerity. Straight totalitarian tyrant type government, man, rule. Martial law. It says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. Yeah. So the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is the one who put this devil in command over you, man. He's the sword of the Lord on the left hand side, so he's going to be using him to exert that straight up punishment upon you tribes, man. And you're feeling it already. He said he's going to cut off your wick, your EBT, SNAP, whatever you want to call it, your benefits, the teats. You're going to lament for the teats, man. You bitches going to lament. There's no more milk in those titties, man. There's no more substance, man. No more resources for you, man. All that shit's going to be dried up like a damn well, because you was benefiting off of that for the longest, especially putting down the Israelite man. But now you like that video the Apostle of the Tahar was referencing, and responding to basically to where the Jake said that Trump's basically put the black woman back into the hands of the black man. Yeah, because you women are gonna come crying and weeping on your knees, expecting to be saved in these last days, because you're gonna need a man. You're gonna realize all that feminist bullshit talk it was all bullshit, man. And that you do need a man to survive. You need a man to protect you. And man is the prize, not you women, man. That's why he's supposed to be the head of the household. And you're supposed to be a help, a maid, a wife, a servant. Which even the whole word woman and wife goes into a female servant, man. You wanted to advert from that because the white man gave you liberty to gather abroad. But now he's taken away those little benefits you had, those privileges you had, man. That decree or creed that you made with the serpent has been disannulled, man. So now you're gonna come back running on your knees, crying on your knees for help from the Israelite man, and we're gonna have the power to take you back or disregard your asses, man. The power's gonna be in the man's hand because the man is the prize, man. Not the woman. It says for the vow of Isaiah 32 and 6. Yeah, 35. It's like, yeah. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful, man. So who's that talking about? The so-called white man. He's not gonna be liberal no more. He's not gonna be liberal, you tribes, man. All that shit done away with. He's not gonna be liberal, man. He's the vile person. He's a devil. So for the vile person will speak villainly, and in his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. So he's coming for your benefits, man. You snap all of that. He's coming for all your little privileges that you had in society. He's cutting that shit off, man. He's gonna make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. That's Esau Edom, man. He's orchestrating these famines. These uh, uh, times of great ration. You know, he's going to be reinforcing that. Why? Because he wants you to accept his new world order. He's trying to back you into a corner, man, to accept this new world order and set that biometric device underneath the skin, whether in your right hand or in your forehead. And that's the only way you're going to so-called make it in society, thrive in society, which is only going to be short-lived. As soon as he's about to fill his belly, that's when all hell's gonna, basically is gonna be unleashed regarding the nuclear missiles, man, and it's gonna be the end of his society, man. And Yahweh Shai and the angels are gonna make themselves present, man, in that time to deliver the elect. It says the instruments of the churl are evil. Yeah, he's evil, man. The churl is talking about these devils, man, because they're lower than low, man. They're despicable. They're the peasants of the earth, They have no notability, or nobility, should I say. They're the peasants, man. They're the basis of men. But it says the instruments of the churl are evil, man. It says he devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. It says, and even when they needy speak right. So he's the evil churl, man. And he's not gonna regard you tribes no more, especially you black women and that Hispanic tribes and the women of our nation, man. You're gonna suffer out here because you're the weaker vessel, man. You don't know how to survive in the times of basically all hell breaking loose. You women ain't built for war, basically. It says, but the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. So, yeah, rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear to my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, you careless women, for the vintage shall fail and the gathering shall not come. Yep, that's it. You're going to be out here pissed. Esau's taking away your benefits, man. And you're going to come begging now, man. You're going to become begging on your knees, man. And that's why Isaiah 4:1's going to kick in like never before. And women are just going to be like, fuck it, man. They're like the brother, Gabar, Yahweh does do the recent video, recent sit down. He said box for beans, man. Women are gonna be selling their box for anything, man, in exchange, man, just to survive, man, for food, for little, for security. Women are gonna be giving it out for free, just to have a man over there to protect them, man. No more 5-star dates and all this bullshit requirements that a man's got to fulfill just to go on the date with, just to get the box from you women, man. No more dates and one-on-ones and all of that shit. You bitches are gonna come on your knees begging, and men are gonna have the power to take you in or just disregard you. That's how it's gonna be, and you're gonna have to do what you're told, man. Ain't gonna be no negotiations and none of that shit. Those days are over. You sucking up and bowing to the women and all that. All those days is over, man. Women are gonna come bowing to men, like they're supposed to. So this is beautiful, man. Trump is doing the splendid job, but he's the villain, man. He's the evil churl. The devices, wicked devices, man. The instruments are also the churl are evil. So he's coming down, man, and with his Gestapo private police squad, and it's only hell from here on out, man. Over there in the shores of America, man. It's not gonna stop. It's only gonna get worse over time. The only ones that's gonna be delivered from these set perils is the elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. So that's why we have to give prayers and thanks and continually watch and pray, and stay circumspect, man, because this shit's going down, whether you like it or lump it, man. So anyway, with that, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rachachodash, and Shalom to the hopeful ones that say elect.